Hey, on this episode of Fandom United, we're going to talk about Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and the JJ Cut, and why you'll never get it.
I'm Rich.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Othello.
I'm Othello.
I'm Aaron.
There we go. And by our fandoms combined, we're Fandom United.
Stealing my bit.
It was so good, and
He misses it.
well, I wasn't going to do it, and then when I opened my mouth, Aaron's name just came out. It just happened.
It happens.
I pretend I'm Aaron all the time, too.
I'm old.
So.
Shut up.
It's called being senile.
Really?
Yeah, boomer.
Wow. Because, according to to federal law, that was called identity theft when he's pretending to be Aaron.
Well, when you think that you're Aaron when you're not, it's called being senile.
Oh, it's just when you try to use those credit cards with Aaron's name on them.
Right.
Okay.
Then it
always
becomes
forget.
identity theft.
Yeah. Because how do you think we moved into this new store? He's got good credit. That's why.
Apparently not anymore.
So what we wanted to talk about on this episode is we wanted to go into our thoughts and reactions on Rise of Skywalker. Everybody else is giving you theirs, so we wanted to throw ourselves in there too. But we also wanted to talk about the JJ cut. So, oh, you people. So have we all heard about the JJ cut?
Yep.
I have not. I was just made
Rich?
aware of that moments ago.
Okay, so it's rumored that there is deleted scenes and extra footage to flesh out the film to help with some of the plot holes that were in Rise of Skywalker. And it's rumored that this film is complete, and it is now being called the JJ Cut, and is trending on Twitter, and the hashtag release the JJ Cut. I swear to you, the Snyder Cut people have found us, and now they want to piss and moan over Star Wars too. So
the rumor is that it's 3.5 hours complete.
Okay, well, first off, Star Wars has never released multiple cuts of a movie, so the chances of them ever capitalizing on that would be slim to none, I think. And that would just be ludicrous.
No, it would be George Lucas. That's what you meant to say.
Good.
You know, Disney likes money, too.
Yeah, but
Would they
Disney...
use it as a ploy to get them to Disney? Well, everybody's on Disney Plus, so I don't see it as a ploy to get people to Disney Plus.
I don't think...
Release it only on Blu-ray.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't... Well... One of the reasons they say that they didn't do it is because they didn't have enough Leia footage to... Like, one of the complaints was Rose Tico's story. Like, Rose was just kind of shuffled in the background. It was like, she's almost like... I'm gonna date myself here. She's the second Winslow sister from Family Matters. She got sent upstairs at the end of first season, and you never saw her again. And that's how she was in the movie. Rose was in the movie.
Family Matters is a show from the early '90s.
Wasn't even a good
from
show.
TGIF.
It was a good show.
Look it up. Google it. TGIF.
It was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers.
Steve Urkel.
I hate you.
They'll still have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, my kids actually might. No, they won't. Never mind. God, I am old. This sucks. All right, so anyway. So basically, Rose was in the movie for, I think I saw a stat somewhere, like she was in the movie for a grand total of like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But the majority of her scenes, and I guess the way her story was going to play out, she had a lot of scenes with Carrie Fisher in the script. But they didn't have enough footage from the filming of The Last Jedi to then CGI her in or whatever and do it justice, so they just cut those parts out from the movie. Okay, I can see that.
I also think she got so much abuse.
She did.
From the second one that I don't think she wanted to be in the spotlight like she was that time.
I don't like the second movie. I do not like The Last Jedi. But I don't hate everything about it. I didn't hate Rose's character. I didn't have a problem with Rose.
Just the side story. The side story was always bad.
The side story was stupid.
It was unnecessary.
The whole Canto Bite thing.
That didn't mean that she was horrible about it. I didn't have any problem with any of the elements.
I didn't have
it wasn't a cohesive story that was entertaining to watch.
So I didn't have a problem with her character, and I think a lot of people that did attack her may have had a problem with her character. I don't know if they had a problem with her race, or if they felt it was just Rian Johnson virtue signaling just by adding more diversity with her, because we already have Finn, and now we added a black guy. Now you got him and Lando. There's 2 black guys in the whole galaxy now. Oh my God, there's like too many of them. And now we'll add Rose, and now you're oh look, you're trying to fill the diversity quota or whatever. I disagree with that, but and I disagree with the attacks that were made on her. My problems with the movie are far and away way more than Rose Tico. I mean, we could even talk about. We're not even gonna talk about that.
She's not even a blip on what was wrong with that movie for me. I mean,
you could start with what's wrong with The Last Jedi when you talk about dropping bombs in space. But whatever. Anyway, so Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah,
I did.
That.
Never.
Think about that. And okay, and then I'm gonna stop.
No.
What idiot arms the bombs in the bomber before you drop them? We didn't even do that in World War II. The bombs, these dumb bombs, would drop out of the bombers, and they were set to arm after they were released. And you mean to tell me in the far future, when they have faster than light travel,
It's a long time ago.
long ago.
It's a long, long time ago.
in a galaxy far, far away, with really advanced technology, they can't figure that out? Stop it.
Apparently not.
That's why the rebellion deserves to lose the war. That's right there. That's just dumb. So
To
anyway,
be honest, though, I mean, I don't think the JJ cut will ever happen.
no. Well,
Although, for some reason, it sure seems like the Snyder cut is picking up a lot more steam than it should be.
I'm sorry, WB, Snyder cut people. Stop it. Just get on with your lives.
Snyder's feeding that flame
Yes,
as much
he
as he
is.
can.
He is. He ain't got nothing else. Does
got
he not
nothing
have
else to
another
do.
movie to work on right now?
Being that there's not all the politics involved with the JJ cut versus the Snyder cut that there was with the Snyder cut. With the JJ cut, they could release those as deleted scenes or alternate scenes. Though.
The issues that I had with the movie would actually be addressed if they did the JJ cut, because I felt that the movie just moved way too fast. There were so many questions that I had that I wanted answered, that if they did film those scenes with how Palpatine survived, how he got all the destroyers, if that was filmed, I would like to see that. I would like to understand. I don't want to read the book. I know it's in the book.
There's a book?
There's a book.
Yeah.
And it explains how he got
the book came out before the movie did.
Which one? I just read one or listened to one called Resistance Reborn. But I need to check out this other book now, because I do want to know, because it's just driving me crazy.
One of the guys that I went to the movie with on opening night said that there was a lot more of Wedge in the book than was in the movie. He was a little disappointed that Wedge wasn't more prominent in the movie.
See,
I don't know, because I didn't read the book, but
I mean, if I'm going to see him, I shouldn't have to read the book to understand it. It should be explained in the movie.
I hope that Disney says, "Hey, it's the Lord of the Rings extended edition."
Right.
I
That's
hope
what
it's
I
something
think,
like
too.
that. Like, hey, here's
Just the
this
director's
nice
cut.
steel book, okay, and here's the Force Awakens.
only $250.
Here's Last Jedi, and here's
if they're smart, they don't do that
Skywalker.
though. I mean, because the Lord of the Rings extended editions were $10 more than what the other
I
versions
never
were.
sat through the extended editions. Of
And
Lord
I
of
did,
the
and I
Rings.
loved them.
did.
I thought
I
that they were
never did.
great.
I got them. Oh, yeah, you can borrow them if I can find them. Dig it out of my garage somewhere.
They were better cuts of the movie,
story.
and they were super long. But I mean,
You don't notice
when for me, the test of a good movie, even if it's long, if it doesn't make my butt hurt when I'm sitting watching it, if I'm not thinking about
You're
it,
not thinking about being hungry or gonna go to the
Yeah.
bathroom or things like that. Yeah.
and I'm just so drawn in by the story, which that's what the extended cut of the Lord of the Rings did for me. I mean, I have no idea about the
don't
Hobbit because I
know.
couldn't make it through the regular cut of the Hobbits. I never watched the third one.
I don't know. I don't think the JJ cut, even if the JJ cut does exist, I don't think it'll be on that level of the Lord of the Rings extended cut, where it'll be like, oh, it'll make me forget all the things, and I'll be fine sitting here for this extended length of time watching it, because JJ had to spend so much time in the movie unraveling and undoing The Last Jedi.
See, and you and I saw different movies because I didn't feel that way. That was not my takeaway from the movie. And initially, when we talked about it, after you finally saw it, you were saying that. I'm like, that was not my feeling. And I saw it a second time after we talked, and I still didn't feel.
Maybe I need to
I
see
think
it again,
that I either had colored glasses on or you did. And it was, and it could be, but I enjoyed it, and I didn't feel like that it slowed down. That he was like undoing. There's a couple things that he addresses, and it was like, hey, here's a jar of Snokes.
Yeah,
which
like,
I thought was great.
It was like
I wanted that
those.
explained. I wanted that explained. I was entertained by the movie, and I
Star
felt
Wars.
like part of the reason that it moved so fast was so that you didn't pay attention to all of that stuff. It was like you just stayed entertained. You stayed in the movie so that you didn't notice all of the plot holes till you went back and watched this. I didn't notice them until the second time. And I was like, oh, there they are.
I don't know. Maybe I went in looking for them. Like
I was thoroughly
expected
entertained.
JJ not to give me a good ending because JJ isn't good at endings.
No.
He's not a closer, but
He's
I thought that he
never
did a
been a
good job. He
But
made an entertaining
Where
movie.
was the red ball? You
I
always.
did not.
There
I
was
didn't
no
see a
red
red ball.
ball.
There
I was
has
looking.
to be one somewhere.
I would think that if it was, it's probably going to be on the planet where they wiped 3PO.
Well, there were the red eyes, the
There's
round
red
red
eyes.
eyes.
There,
Maybe.
But my other thing is they went into it knowing there was no other way for this movie to go than to be divided down the middle. Because there was always going to be half that thought The Last Jedi was a great movie, and there's the other half who thought it was a horrible movie. So it no matter what happened, half and half were going to hate it.
Well, and I think like
And
okay,
that was
like
Disney's fault for letting it not be a cohesive thing. That's
Well,
where it fell apart.
that
If
was
they
more Kathleen Kennedy's fault, but they gonna get her, so we ain't have to worry about that. But because Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau coming for
They
your
are.
job, you might as well just clean out your stuff now, sister. Because anyway, like we're talking about the things that JJ spent time on doing, like the whole thing where, what I told you is that your parents weren't important. It's true that they weren't important in the Force or whatever like that, but they were important. Like they had a name, they were people. And then, they went into who Reys Parents were. Hey, spoiler, if you haven't seen it, too bad, too late.
Okay, no. Look, and I guess here's where I would differ how I look at that is because in 7, JJ set that up of, hey, we're going to explore this. This is important to the story that I'm doing. Rian Johnson undid that and said, nope,
Right.
doesn't matter. And JJ's doing it and said, no, it matters, and this is who she is.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It was that fundamental disagreement between what Rian Johnson's vision of what he wanted Star Wars to be versus what JJ's more traditional vision of what he wanted Star Wars to be. Is.
So I guess I just look at it not so much as him retrofitting or undoing what Rian
feel
Johnson
like he's
did.
riding the ship.
He's fulfilling what his...
What he-
Right, but
started
if you're
in
trying to look
7.
at the trilogy as a whole, 1, 2, and 3, like going one movie to the next movie to the next movie, beginning, middle, and end, it's kind of like, hey, we do all this stuff, and then Rian Johnson says, no, we don't, and then we're going to undo everything you did and say, yes, we are. And it was like that whole thing. It was like it was like two kids arguing. You
Yeah.
have to watch the movie of them arguing.
The
and
only thing I felt that was a constant thread throughout of it was the dyad, which they explained in the third one. But like the fact that they could connect to each other wherever they were in the galaxy, like that was the only thing that was a constant thread throughout all 3 of the movies.
Which I really hated that.
Other
I wanted a better explanation for that. I just didn't like that. I get it. New Force powers, new stuff. You know what? Force holograms, whatever Luke's got going on there with the mojo. Force healing because Baby Yoda's freaking awesome. The dyad thing. I just come on, man.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either, but I didn't hate on it. And I've heard that's probably the thing I've heard the most negative about.
Well, and my thing too was like the quick redemption of Kylo Ren. Like, it was just so. I have a problem with Star Wars and their
He
redemption
was secretly working at a soup kitchen on the weekends, though, so he wasn't like
I
that
don't.
far in the dark side.
He wasn't that far in the dark side. He was only kind of bad on the weekends.
So I actually had this discussion with one of my film friends yesterday, and they really enjoyed the movie. And the way that I put it was a good movie, but it wasn't a good film.
I hate you just for even saying it that way.
It
can't be
wasn't
friends.
like
Jesus, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, that's what that's what I heard.
no.
It wasn't very artistic.
Cinema.
Not cinema. That's not what I mean. That's not how I mean it. I mean it kept you entertained. It kept you
It was
in
a good
the
popcorn movie, pretty effects, but it didn't tell a coherent enough
Exactly.
story. It like, ooh.
It didn't like it. It didn't
Okay, we can be
complete
friends
the full bubble. It was like it kept you shooting straight through that bubble, so you didn't notice that the bubble was popping.
I think either Disney, and I just want to blame Kathleen Kennedy for it. I'm not saying it's her fault, but I am. They just misstepped from day one with this new trilogy to finish the stories. They just, from day one.
Yeah.
I get Force Awakens. And when Force Awakens came out, I said it was a rehash of A New Hope, and it just seemed like A New Hope 2.0. I get it, to attract new fans. Here's your new trilogy of characters. You know, here's Finn, here's Poe, here's Rey. They're your new Han, Leia, and Luke. One of these kids doesn't matter, just happened to be Finn. He didn't in the end. And then they had to stick him like, hey, look, here's some other stormtroopers that decided they didn't want to be troopers anymore.
Here's a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Go have your girlfriend.
Who, hey, if you look at the visual dictionary that accompanies the Rise of Skywalker, you better not touch that girl because her daddy will kill you. Because he is a really good shot. You do not mess with Baron Landonis' daughter. You don't touch her because that's Lando's daughter. Yes. That the book, the visual dictionary kind of alludes to the fact that is Lando's daughter because Lando was on a planet, the planet that young lady was taken from. His daughter was taken from him by the First Order.
So does he not know that it's because
I think he does,
the whole
or he
thing
has
at the
an
end?
idea that it might be, and that's why he said, "Why don't we find out together?" And everybody's like, "Why is that weird thing there?" But when you look at the visual dictionary and you look at her, it talks about where she was taken from, and Lando's daughter was taken from the same place, and they would be about the same age, and so Lando thinks. There ain't that many black people in the Star Wars universe. It's got to be mine.
See, I was thinking he was like...
He's like, who else have you seen around here that looks like me?
I was thinking that he just Bill Cosby to Colt 45. And...
Wow.
See, that's the way I went too.
Technical foul.
I thought he was being creepy.
Flag on the play.
That's how I read it.
No, I actually thought that there was a chance that was going to be, hey, I think you might be somebody we need to know
and I
more
feel like
about.
that's probably in the JJ cut.
Because when everybody was talking about Finn, they're like, "Oh, I bet Finn's last name is Calrissian." Why do you think that? Because there ain't no other black people in Star Wars. That's why it's got to be.
There ain't no other black people in space.
They all Lando's kids. That's what his last name ain't LaForge. Wrong franchise. So we don't get out. That's just what it is. That's Star Wars for you. So that was a part of the movie that. Maybe the JJ cut would explain, but I don't know. I would hope for it too. I would like to see it just to say, or at least to address it and say, hey, we do kind of address these things that you guys have talked about. We have Ben Solo's redemption arc is a little bit deeper. Like I hated his whole redemption arc. I hated it. So you mean to tell me that you have to kill your dad in order to go to the dark side, but as soon as your mom dies and she says your name, it's like, oh, mama? I'm gonna be good now, mama. No, that's just stupid. It was just, God, it was just dumb to me. I hate it.
There was probably more to that, but
it was.
Carrie
I'm
Fisher
sure
died
there
and
was.
they didn't get to do it.
Maybe. Okay, but Harrison Ford showed up.
Right.
I'm not saying like why couldn't she? I know she couldn't. She was dead. I'm saying,
and that's a good excuse. I mean,
I thought
feel
that
like
part
that's
was
what
cool
happened.
when his memory came up and he talked to Kylo and all that, and he was like,
I love that conversation.
I did like the way that conversation ended. Like,
Dad, I know. Like, the boy couldn't say it because his dad could never say it. That's awesome.
And his dad knew because, it was his memory. So really, he was just hallucinating something to make him feel better about.
Or was he
becoming a good guy? Yes, he was. Stop it.
No, the whole thing. There's people talking that Leia sent. Made that whole thing happen. If I don't care either way. Either way, I'm good with it. Whether it was just a memory or whether it was something that, she went into the other side and
My other thing is, okay, I get him throwing away his lightsaber, his weapon, his Sith weapon as a symbol, as a visual symbol of me making a turn and turning a corner and being a good guy now. But then you infiltrate the base without any weapons. Really, like, how powerful are you? Like, why were we even bothering with this in the first place?
He was always impulsive and not necessarily that bright. So.
And then the whole lightsaber trick thing, I wasn't feeling that during the fight when Rey hands him the lightsaber. I wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, I don't hate the movie. I liked the movie.
It sounds like you loved it.
No, I love Star Wars.
You're a conflicted man.
I wasn't, like I told Rich, I wasn't underwhelmed and I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just whelmed.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Teen Titans. Thank you, Robin.
That's
no, that
how,
was Young Justice. Young Justice. My bad.
That's how my son described it too. He's like,
whelmed.
It was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't
Star
a bad
Wars.
movie.
It
was
excited.
A good movie.
I was excited to see the Millennium Falcon again and see some X-wings flying. And where did the Emperor get a whole fleet that whole time? Like, who is building this
That's
stuff?
what the JJ cut is for.
How come?
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody noticed all the materials and slaves going to this planet, and nobody could tell that this man is building.
They explain that in the JJ cut. That's what I'm telling you.
Do they though? Do they? Do they?
I at least wanted to understand how Palpatine survived. I at least wanted them to take a second to explain.
I don't know that really needs explaining though.
He blew up in the middle of a gigantic bomb.
Look, with
have you never lit a match near somebody who's had White Castle? I mean, it's the same thing. You survived.
He got blown out with it.
Yeah, maybe. You don't know.
Okay, the whole thing, which I thought it was nice because I thought that was kind of borrowing some stuff from the Timothy Zahn trilogy without really addressing it, because there were clones of the Emperor waiting for his...
That was a better way to do it, though.
No doubt. That's what Kathleen should have done from the beginning and said, hey, you know what?
Heir to the Empire.
We're not doing the Heir to the Empire story, but that happened between...
No, they should have done Heir to the Empire.
Everybody was too old by the time that they got around to doing it. I think it would have been better for them to say, you know what? Yeah. We're going to allude to these events that happened. Go back and read some books, kids. And this is the aftermath of the Timothy Zahn trilogy.
I feel like
did you ever read that though?
I did.
So you remember with the body transfer, the consciousness?
No, yeah, I got that.
That would have been a way better way to do it.
And that explained the Palpatine with Snoke. That would explain how he did that. But my only other gripe was I honestly think with the books, the twins.
Oh,
if
Jason and
they
Jaina
were gonna do the dyad, it would have made a lot more sense with the twins.
I wish they would have gone
than it would have with.
I think so too. But I mean, they were so hell bent on saying no, we are not doing anything that wasn't,
which is
we've deemed this as not canon.
It was a great story.
It was a great story.
And they stopped when they were like teenagers. This would have been them as adults. It would have been...
No, actually, they were further because Jason went to the dark side. Jaina trained, and she was kind of taking on basically the Rey role.
Yeah.
And she actually ended up killing him in a duel to stop it all. So she actually ended up killing Jason in those books.
That would have been a good story. That would have worked.
For a 20-year-old book.
Okay. That would have worked.
I don't know if that works.
Everybody... only the hardcore fans would have known that story because not everybody reads books.
And it would have been like, holy crap, she has to do this, she has to sacrifice her brother in order to bring balance to the Force and end the reign of the Emperor.
It would have just worked better than what they
instead
did.
of kissing him to death, because what kind of breath do you have to make somebody just like and
he
then
survived.
My man died.
No, he survived a downed X-wing. He survived
being thrown in a bottomless pit by the Emperor.
Life force to her.
He survived getting stabbed through the abdomen.
I know, it's horrible.
And then he died getting kissed by Rey.
Yeah, and it's like, there's room on the door for both of you. Stop it.
See, I kept thinking...
Stop it. There's room on the door for both of you. Let Leo on the door.
I kept thinking Princess Bride was like, okay, just... bring her mostly back. Leave her mostly dead. Just whatever. And then let her heal a little bit. You heal up. Get some of that mojo back.
Just give her a little.
The Palpatine stole. Yeah. And then bring her back some more.
Yeah,
then you
no.
can both go in. One thing I did like, this is from The Last Jedi, when Finn wakes up and he's in like the suit, like the water suit.
suit.
That was a good bit.
Yeah.
But I think, savor just enough that and you both go get in your little water suits and then.
Go get in the Bacta tank.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
It worked for Luke. It was good enough for Luke. Why isn't it good enough for you? But no.
He had to give up all of his essence.
Get an IG-11 and, you know, the little Bacta Bianca and, you know.
Like some Bacta spray. Like, here, you know, you just need... There you go. Because, man, that's a hell of a cold sore to kiss somebody with. Like, wow. It's them Jedi herbs, boy. They just make you one with the Force. They just, wow. I felt bad for Finn. I did. Poe, they were trying to make him the leader of the Resistance, like the new Leia. I get that. The hot shot pilot, blah, blah, blah. I thought he was going to be the new Han Solo. They wanted him to be the new Leia. I get it. Take over the Resistance, blah, blah, blah.
Should have happened in 8.
I felt bad for Finn, though. I really did, because it felt like he was pining after Rey.
Yeah, he was the whole time. He was.
And then...
That wasn't it.
But, no, I mean, 7 and 8. And then, you know, Rose kind of interrupts all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, with her, with being a distraction. And then, you know, you get to 9, and he's trying to tell her something the whole movie. We know he's not trying to tell her I love you. He's trying to tell her, I'm Force sensitive. I'm sensing stuff in the Force now, or whatever. Maybe he's a slow Force learner. But no, what does she do? She runs off and she kisses the galactic mass murderer when he's like, I've been here the whole time. I carried your lightsaber for you. He tried to kill you like twice and blew up a whole star system full of people. And he gets the lips. What the heck, Rey? Like, it's not okay. It's just not okay. So, I don't know. I had issues with the movie, but I did like it. I do love Star Wars.
It. Sounds like you loved it.
I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. I love it. And
I feel like most of the people watching it probably are in the same boat as you. And honestly, that's what I want to know. I want to know, 1, would you watch the JJ cut? Do you want the JJ cut? And 2, are you as conflicted as Othello is about the movie?
I loved it, but I am happy it's over.
Yeah,
I'm ready to move on.
They can move on to bigger and better things now.
I want more Mandalorian. I want more Rebels.
And they're going to the High Republic.
I want the Old Republic. I want all that goodness.
They're going to the Old Republic. I think that's next.
All right, well, that's it for this week. Remember, if they ask you, tell them F you.